Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to Ecstatic Dance with Samadhi and Tribe. So this is our meet and greet number 4. It's so good to be here and with everyone in mind, all 134 of us right now. So we'd like to introduce ourselves to the community and to the tribe. And so you can, see what kind of people are in here. And we want to invite you to join and introduce yourself as well. So I guess I will get started unless you want to start, Destiny.
Hello, hello, everyone. Great to be back again. My name is Destiny. Currently, I'm living in Texas. I'm originally from New York, but that's where I am now. Um, I have been a couple of times on this call now. But as far as the ecstatic dance world goes, I've probably known about ecstatic dance now for maybe 3 years, maybe. Um,
Mm.
and actually, like 2 years ago now, I went to do like a DJ training in Bali for this ecstatic dance situation, and it's been fantastic. I actually realized that when I got there, I didn't know what ecstatic dance was. Um, but it allowed me to really get to know it even more and just allow myself to be free in movement as well. I've always really enjoyed dancing and music and playing around and all kind of different things. So, um, ecstatic dance was just a great way to enjoy yourself, enjoy movement, enjoy your body, enjoy music without the external substances, right? Because we don't really need those things. So it's like getting back into your play before all those things and, just playing around, doing whatever you want to do, kind of like showing up and being a kid again, um, while enjoying some good music and some good company. So it's also interesting with Ecstatic Dance that you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. In fact, it is not encouraged, really. It's like more of a I get to just show up and be me kind of deal. And then afterwards, we can talk if we want to talk. But that's also great in a world where all the time it seems like sometimes you don't want to talk. Sometimes you just want to, go inward and enjoy yourself. So it's a great time and a great way to do that as well. But then the ecstatic dance community is fantastic. I've been to ecstatic dances in um, a few different places. Um, and each time it's like a different experience. Everyone has their own different vibe that they bring to it as far as the community who puts it together. And then you meet so many different people who are just drawn to dance, and you see how many more people are, willing to be a part of community, willing to show up and represent, the true version of themselves, not, the mass that we all kind of got into at some point in time. So ecstatic dance is a real way to uncover all that again and just feel that aliveness within your body. So I would love to, meet more of you at some point. Also, online is great, but we can also do things in person. I'm great with that. And yeah, so
And Destiny, I know you have a tribe of your own. Do you want to share a little bit about that with us?
yeah, so really, when it comes down to it, I'm teaching like nervous system regulation
Mm.
through many different means. And the nonprofit that I have is called Energy of Creation. So we do different things like ecstatic dance is also one of them. Breath work is also one of them. Embodiment yoga is also one. So
Mm.
sound healing. We do so many different things that just allow us to reach into ourselves in different places, right? 'Cause sometimes you need to be more heady. So we have a Course in Miracles where we're going to talk it out. Sometimes we need to, just sit there and let the vibration just take care of us. So there's a lot of different ways that we implement these modalities into the overall experience and what the human is able to receive and is capable of. And so at the end of the day, like I said, it's all nervous system regulation, getting back to yourself, recognizing more of who you are, what you're capable of 100%. And we meet also online. You can find out any information that you'd like to see on energyofcreation.com. We also meet in person, in local kind of gatherings. We do hikes and things together if we're very local, but we're also setting up retreats so that we can come together on like a more global scale as well. And anyone in this community, I'm also willing to also work with people because I feel like we all can bring our own individual things into an amazing experience. And, that's what I just want to see more of in the world, just
Mhm.
us working together instead of being so separate. So, yeah, if you
Good. Yeah.
find anything, if there's anything that you would like to work with me on, I'm open to it. If you would just like to participate in something, I'm open to it. And then also let us know, like as a community, what's going on with you so that we can show up as well.
Exactly. Yes. And once we get the tribe rolling more, I would love to have you come in and facilitate some of your classes, when the time is right. So we will definitely have you do that or
For sure.
invite you. And yeah, because like you said, this Skool platform, it's really more about what we can do together as a group. I will put some of my DJ trainings and facilitator training classes and workshops up there, but I also want other DJs and other people to be here and be facilitating, so that we can be active on here together and share. So,
Right.
thank you so much, Destiny. So good to
Yeah,
see
thank
you
you.
again today. And Eon, would you like to share a little bit about who you are and what the significance of dance and music has been for you, or
Yeah.
anything you want to say to the tribe?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. To the tribe, dance. I think anybody who's gone into ecstatic dance has had similar experiences coming from that other world. I like to say, right?
Right.
The world of substance, and and so I think for myself, what I discovered was that coming from I started DJing. So I'm sorry, by the way, my name is AKA Ian Maíz, right? Sin maíz no hay país, meaning there is without corn, it's life, right? So it's kind of like the indigenous culture, right? Like coming from that. So
And
anyways,
that's your DJ name, right?
that's my DJ name, yeah. El Maíz, yeah. I had a dream, that's what it was, and I saw a maze of corn in my dream, you know. And during that time, I was doing a lot of work, a lot of yoga, breath work, and so on. So,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, I love that.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so I grew up DJing, since I was probably 14, all the way till maybe 21, 22, and then I stopped because I said this stuff's gonna kill me after a while because there's a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay, So, but we grew up beat mixing, counting records, BPMs, by hand, by sound.
Yeah.
Uh, so after that, I always dance. I've always been into dancing, whether it was punk rock or swing or salsa. Every weekend I was on a dance floor. And I think after a while, at some point, it just became something where it's like monkey see, monkey do. Somebody else is drinking, even though you don't really want to drink, you start drinking. And I think a lot of people have had the same experience, and it started getting tiring. I started feeling it in my body. And then I started yoga probably in 2013. And I started practicing yoga a lot of it was for fitness, but I didn't understand and realize what it was and what it was going to start doing to my inner self and my spirit. And
Mm.
so that started hitting. And then I started waking up, meaning one day I looked around and I said, holy crap, a lot of this stuff I've been lied to, you know? And so I woke up and I'm like, what the, you know? And so I don't know how I found ecstatic dance or ecstatic dance found me. I started reaching out to the spiritual community more after doing yoga. So I had already been doing yoga for a long time, for about maybe 5, 6, 7 years now. Kundalini. I started teaching yoga. So I was still going out dancing. I was good enough not to drink. I could go out there, I could just dance and leave at that point. But it took a lot of yoga to be able to get into that environment of boom, 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 and and then get out.
Right.
And because of the yoga, my movements started changing. I
Mm.
was no longer in the sexual, sensual body. I was more in the spirit body now. And I noticed that my flow was different. And I was like, what's happening? And then as I remember reaching out to Harold, who is in the spiritual community, and he goes, "Hey man, you should come out, to this dance or whatever." I was like, "All right, well, yeah, I like to dance, but it's like it's not a party. There's no drinking, so people are going to be watching you. See, that's where you can get away with people that are drinking because they're in themselves. They're like, oh yeah, I'm sexy. And so you can do whatever you want. They're drinking. You're like, you're good. You can hide. But it's like, what? Everybody's like, awake. Everybody's there, present. I'm like, that's a little scary. I wasn't sure if I was ready for that. But as a yogi and a yogi practitioner, I said to myself, make the comfortable uncomfortable and the uncomfortable comfortable. I said, let's go. And I went. And the same outer body experiences that I had with yoga is actually coming out, releasing, tearing, releasing is what I got when I was in an ecstatic dance. Good curation, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and I believe my first dance was with you. And
Yeah.
I felt that. That was deep. I After the yoga, after movement, coming out of that world of, substance,
Hmm.
um, I was in. There was no going back.
Was that at Go Dance in Austin?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. I remember
Yeah.
that because I
I
came to
was,
you during the dance.
yes, I
Had it.
was in.
Yeah.
After that, there was no going back. And then I kept up with the community on Facebook, and then I saw that you were doing a DJ training.
Hmm.
I said, okay, well, I got the DJ training. I said, well, maybe that might fit. And so that's when I went ahead and decided to take the courses with you. Um, but it's changed my life in so many ways. Dance in general has changed my life. I grew up in a really harsh environment, as I told you before. And so you had a couple of choices. You could dance or you could join a game. And
Mm.
so I'd been dancing since I was 12, 13 years old, whether it was breakdancing or whether it was, teen clubs, you know, and then of course after that adult, and then I got into different dances, but it saved my life. So going from that to ecstatic dance, it was like I found home. I could play again. It was like I was 12 all over again. The substance wasn't there. The um, the people were actually in community communicating in a playful way with their bodies, like you did when you were 12 and 10, and you're just like, yeah. And I said, this is home. Wow. And after that, I just never looked back. And I started mixing, and I did go on hiatus in 2024 up until now that I reached out to you a few days ago, and I'm just going to come back into the community and do some work. But yeah, that's my experience with dance and ecstatic dance, and it's been a journey.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome, Ian. And you're in Texas, right? San
Mm.
Antonio
Yeah,
area.
most
And wait,
definitely.
you were in, oh, you're still in San Antonio area.
So yeah, I'm back and forth. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And what is the other area where you're sort of located?
yeah. I'm by the border as well in Mexico. But sometimes I'm traveling a little further in,
Yeah.
and then I'm back over here. So I'm between Mexico and back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah, cool. Awesome. So far we've got three Texans here.
Yeah.
I'm a Texan. Well, yeah, I'm Texan. Okay. Hey, Christopher, I want to say hi. Are you there? Hey. Right now, we're doing an introduction of ourselves to the tribe and to our community, just sharing who we are and how dance has affected our lives. And we want to share some of our own experiences so that more of our community can see who we are and see if they want to join us. A lot of our people don't are new to ecstatic dance, so I've invited today for everyone to share longer stories if they wanted to, or you can keep it short. But yeah, so since we have a intimate group today, I want to invite you to yeah share something about ecstatic dance, how and who you are.
Okay, my name's Christopher Dida. We met in the Eternal Life Tribe over a year ago,
Yeah.
and I loved the way that you presented the psalms that we were singing, the chants. It was just so with so much energy, so energetic. Uh, it was exciting waiting for that day. We only got to do it once every 2 weeks, or yeah, every 2 weeks. So it could have been once a week. I think would have been a whole lot more fun, and
Yeah.
a little longer. Like we should have had a couple more hours, and
Oh
that
yeah.
that way get everybody together. But it was fun how everybody came together and they just sang and they just chanted, and it didn't matter that we sucked, but it was fun. 'Cause
Right. Yeah.
we never got in sync on that one, but it didn't matter. We Everybody was there having a good time. So, and for dance, well, you know my story, but Amsterdam, being in Amsterdam, was really where I got to see people just dancing at the squat parties. So it was the music would change Monday, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. We would go out on Friday night, and you didn't get home till Monday, and you would go to all the parties as long as the police were letting you have them, and just dance, and everybody danced, and people slept there. It was crazy.
Oh.
Every weekend there would be like herds of people going down the street to the party, and you never knew where the party was. So uh, the herds would just kind of there'd be maps. Sometimes you had to have a secret map to get there, so the police wouldn't come and run us off too much. And I guess a good story for that one would be right towards the end. Uh, they were cracking down on the parties, so they had to make this one really super secretive. And you went to three different locations. You'd get to one, and they'd be like, "Okay, here," and they'd hand you another piece of paper, and you're like, "What?" And you'd walk. And after about an hour and a half of walking or herding through town in little groups, we came to a tunnel they were digging underneath from the north side to the south side of Amsterdam. It was a new train tunnel, and they had managed to get in this tunnel and set up a big old set of speakers and the DJs, but everything was like pieced together because they knew they were going to come eventually and find us and take it. So they just pieced it all together and put us in this tunnel, and it was complete the whole tunnel. So the acoustics were unbelievable in this thing. And at about 12:30, the door opened up to the car tunnel on the other side, and the police walked through, and you could just see on their lips, like, what the? It took them 5 hours to get us all out of that tunnel, but we just kept dancing. They had one of the cops dancing at one time. It was like they realized that they weren't going to get rid of us very soon. Uh, but it was fun. So that was just some of the stuff that they did. One time they brought us home. We were at a 3-day festival right outside of town, and I think it was called Raucourt, and we needed. I mean, it was probably 20 miles out of town, I guess. And so we found this boat sitting on the side of the water, and in the water, and it was like, y'all want to ride back to Amsterdam? We were like, okay. And so they get charged like 5 guilders, $2 or something to get on this boat, and they had a DJ set up in the boat. It was one of these old Amsterdam grain boats that they used to run like a barge with a roof on it. And it was like being in the belly of a big whale. So the DJ was Jonah, and we were in the whale, and they played the music all the way there back, and we never even thought we left. And so they were like, "Okay, it's time to get off." We're like, "What? Are you crazy? We're not getting out of here."
Wait, was
They were
that
like,
called Odessa?
that was in Amsterdam.
Yeah,
At,
Odessa. They have a dance boat there called
oh,
Odessa.
I don't know. We never saw this thing before. It was just like a taxi back,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could
and they
be
had it
a
set
newer
up.
version. Okay.
Yeah, and so we just called it the belly of the whale, and we made 3 trips. Like they realized that they weren't going to get us off. We just somebody
Oh,
threw a handful of 5 guilder pieces to them and said, "Look, we're just going to ride back and forth till it's over with, right?" And they left us alone, and it was amazing. We had a blast in there. Just you never knew what you'd come up on there for a party, especially. So that was dance. It was all dancing. Just everybody just danced and danced and danced and danced. I think that's why I stayed as slim as I am, because I hit that at the right time. That was like my early 20s, and it's just a wonderful group of people with the dance. Um, it wasn't like a regular club. We didn't function very well in the dance clubs and stuff. So it was more the squat scene. But you had the trance people with their trance music, which was my favorite, psychedelic trance, and then you had the house music, and you had the was the ones from Spain. They were like the anarchist, some kind of GABA. It was called GABA, I think it was. It had to grow on you, but the people were really cool. So you had to listen to the GABA dance music to. It was really fast, but everybody was their own little group of people, but they all got along really well. Um, yeah, so that's my dance story.
very cool. Yeah, awesome. I've been to Amsterdam. I forgot how many years ago, but not maybe 5 to 7 years ago,
Mm.
to a couple dances there.
Oh. And what
And
did you call it?
um, let's see. Let me see if I can think of the name
Did
of.
you go to the Milk Veg? Was one of them held at the Milk Veg? It was
I
the.
don't recognize that name.
Uh,
I'm not recalling the names of these things. I think the boat that they have there. I worked with a couple of DJs in Amsterdam. Renee is one of them, and Jeroen D. He used to make sets for me and in our Ecstatic Dance Evolution. He's a big popular DJ over there, as is Renee. Um, so, but I'm not thinking the name of the other. Oh, Club Light. Back in the day, I'm not sure if that's still there, but Club Light was the name of the actual building that they had ecstatic dance in. It was very, very beautiful scene.
yeah.
So so yeah. Well, would you like to say anything else before we go on to the tribe?
Mm, no, just that life is always a mystery. You never know what you're gonna get, and it's really starting to unfold quite well
Oh,
now.
I would
So,
I would like to invite you to talk a little bit about you have a project that you're doing right now. So can you
oh
tell us
yeah.
a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's called Lumaloop, and it turns out to be a wellness app that uses your own voice as your medicine. So we provide scripts, and you record the scripts in the app, and then you put it. There's a 72-hour loop mechanism in there that'll play it back for you. That came about from Neville Goddard saying that 72 hours was the time you needed to manifest something into reality, And I was thinking 72 hours. I'm lucky to get 72 seconds of something in my mind that I can hold on to. So I was like, I need something to help me do this. So we invented that thing or built it. Uh, and you can put anything in it really and just play it so that you can, for 72 hours, you can walk around in the 3D and it still be in your mind. It's like an override for everybody else's noise
Nice.
basically. So it's and with my brother just so this is somebody I lived in Amsterdam with actually. We met in Germany, but we made it all the way to Amsterdam for 4 years. He's helping me build it. So he's designing it my brain and he's doing all the coding. And he just entered us into some kind of app contest for the app. So we've got 16 days to get it complete and out there and used. Uh, there'll be a code that people can use to get in. So it gives the access to the whole app so they can give us feedback for the contest. And when we win, we get the winners. There's more than one, I'd imagine. They put your app on the big screen in Times Square in
Oh
New
my
York.
God.
So that's
Yeah.
everybody's app goes rolling across that thing. So I'm seeing us. I've already seen us there, standing there, looking at our app going across the thing, and we just look at each other and start laughing hysterically, and step into a portal, and off we go to a new chapter in our
Yeah.
life. So then this dude, he is like, I say my brother. When we met, we were brothers. And it's like it was so I had to tell this quick story. Our first time hanging out together in the daytime, we're at his house and we're partying, and he tells me that I carried the weight of the world on my back. So starts playing Ringo Starr, The Weight of the World, and he says, "You need to talk to your mama." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." He goes, "What's her number? I'll call her." So I give him the number. We're in Germany now, and she's in the States, and he gets on the phone. He's there for like 15 minutes just having this conversation with himself. I'm thinking, and I'm like. Finally, he goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, he's here. Would you like to talk to him?" And he hands me the phone, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey Donna, how's it going?" And my mother was on the other side of the phone. Like he spent 15 minutes talking to her this whole time, and I was like, at that point, I was like, we're brothers, and so we've been
Oh,
friends.
okay. Yeah.
He's a special kind of person, He can talk to
Right.
anybody. So, yeah,
Nice. Well, I
so
love
that's
the
it.
name Luma Loop. So yeah, I want you to post that in our tribe if you
Okay, yeah, we're putting posts
want.
there. I have a school site with it now, so
Hmm.
I'll post it up there later. Thank
Yeah,
you very
great.
much.
So that we have so many talented people in our community. So yeah.
Everybody's talented. That's what most people don't know. That's the real message. It's like everybody's talented. Everybody has a talent, and we just need the space and the time to to bring it forth. Unfortunately, the 3D doesn't allow people to be creative. So we need whole new system. When we set the new Earth up, everybody gets creative time,
That's right.
like nap time in kindergarten. We're going to carry that on, but we're going to take the Italian nap time. That's 3 hours instead of one or two. We'll do a
I
better
like
job.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely find myself taking a nap in the afternoon, especially after.
Everybody needs one. Look at them. I mean, they're so happy. You know, they must be
All
doing something
right.
right. Nice to meet you.
Thank you,
Enjoy.
Chris. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Okay, and are you in Florida now? Is that where you
I'm in
reside?
Louisiana.
I mean, yeah, Louisiana. That's what I meant to say.
Mhm.
Okay.
I've been through Texas enough times to maybe have a license plate. Uh,
Okay.
so quite a few times.
Louisiana. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. My brother was born in Shreveport. So we lived
Mhm.
there in Louisiana for a little while. For I don't know, you know, probably
It's magical.
5 years or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Derek was born here too. It's like, hmm
Okay. Well, cool. All right. So last but not least, I'm Samadhi, love. And on my social media, I go by Sydney Samadhi Strahan because for some reason they wouldn't let me just use Samadhi Love. They made me use my real name. So my real name is Sydney Strahan and I go by Samadhi. Um, let's see. What do I want to say about ecstatic dance? Yeah, so for those well, okay, for those who of you who have been like classically trained dancers in like dance school studios and things like that, that was my initial experience with dance. When I was 4, my mom, luckily put me in dance class, because that's the first time they would accept me. I mean, I was probably finally potty trained or something, I don't know why it was for, but evidently I love dance and music, from a young age. And so I grew up in tap jazz, ballet, um, eventually like modern dance, contemporary dance, and acrobatics. So just your basic dance studio classes in high school. Then I became an assistant teacher with the owner of the studio. And that was great experience. So I got to, go to other classes and be the assistant and help my teacher with the instructions and things like that. So that's where I fit in. And then in high school, I joined the dance team, which was a drill team at the time, but it was unusual because the leader of it was more of a dancer than a drill team, classical like high kicks. I mean, we did high kicks and all that, but she was more jazzy, so that was fun. So I got to help out with some of the choreography in that way. And then just um, loved dance. Dance, it just during that time, I went through a lot of suffering in high school just because of I grew up in Kingwood, out north of Houston. So it was a brand new high school. It just seemed like during the 80s, there was just so much judgment, about other people. And which, we got judgment in dance class because you could do it right or you could do it wrong, right? Sorry, there's a lawnmower. Can y'all hear the lawnmower out there?
No,
No.
I don't care.
Okay, great. So, we were always being critiqued and this kind of thing, and you had to get it right. And, it was always about competition, and I really didn't like that. I wasn't the best dancer. I mean, I did win best dancer in certain circumstances, but I wasn't always the best dancer. I couldn't always remember the choreography. But I felt very shy, like I couldn't dance freeform or freestyle anywhere because I was afraid that I was going to get it wrong. So eventually, I think I was uh, well, as I graduated from high school, I went to TCU actually for the dance department and studied, basic classes that they were teaching contemporary, and then tap dancing. That was one of my favorite forms, tap dance, and rhythm tap in particular, because I loved drumming and the rhythms. And but I only did dance in at TCU for 2 years because I hurt my knee and had to, you know, do some repair on it. So during that time, I took some art classes, and then I got a scholarship in art and painting and printmaking. So I kind of dropped out of the dance department at that time because of my injury. But then once I graduated, I got right back into tap dancing because there was a rhythm tap dance studio. And, I went for one semester there, and then I ended up teaching there, teaching the beginner classes, and then intermediate, and then advanced class. And I danced with their company. They had a tap dancing company. And then after doing that, that was so much fun. I opened my own tap dance company for 12 years here in Fort Worth, a long time ago. Let's see, it would have been probably 1992. So I had a youth company, which was super exciting because we got to play with the Mondo drummers, and they would do African drumming, and we would translate the drum beats into our tap shoes and our feet. And so we would do performing together on street performing and in different places. And so we would play their African rhythms on our feet. And I had like teenage kids that were in my Footnotes Rhythm Tap Dance Company. That was the name of it. And so that was 12 years of tapping, jumping up and down every day. So that was amazing, and I got to be real familiar with the jazz music and that kind of thing during that time. But I was already into my 30s before I learned about spiritual dance or freeform dance because like I said, I used to be very shy. Like I would even in tap dance, it was hard for me to improvise. I was really inspired by the rhythm tap dancers like Savion Glover and Gregory Hines and I went and studied with all the old masters, before they died. So that was amazing, 12 years of my life. But then I found my friends like, hey, meet me at this dance class in Austin, and so this was like in the year 2000. And so I drove from Fort Worth to Austin. It's probably like a 3-hour drive and got there and he didn't show up. So I went in and I was like, what the heck? There's like 150 people there. This huge dance studio, beautiful sprung hardwood floor, with the dance surface on it. And all these people were there and they were just like freaking out, like doing all kinds of movements. And somebody went over and put on the music, turned on the music, but I didn't see a teacher, and I was like, oh my God, the teacher's going to be really upset. Like if the teacher comes in and all the students are just doing whatever they want, like, oh, I'm not going to get in trouble. So I just sat on the side, like, I'm going to just stretch out like a good student. I'm not going to get in trouble. Like, because I'm coming from that dance school mindset, of like you can get it wrong, you can be bad, or you can be good, or So this really broke my matrix and shattered the matrix of my mind all around dance. And then I didn't see my friend never showed up, and then the teacher never showed up, and then just a group of people came around me as I was sitting on the floor, and they were like just doing all kinds of wavy arm stuff around me. And I was like, oh my God. So they just picked me up off the floor and then they brought me into the group of dancers. And I don't know what happened. Like, I think I just, I would have never done something like that, but the energy just took me into it. I was like, no way, I would not join that group, but I think a lot of us have that experience when we go to ecstatic dance for the first time. And it's just like a new paradigm, but it's so natural. And so that's the thing is like I danced the whole time with all these people. I was covered in sweat. It was just like sweat was slinging around the room, and I was just like, whoa, what is this? And then it was the end and everyone sat in a circle. And I was like, oh my gosh, my friend never showed up. And then I was like, oh my God, like the teacher never showed up. Like nobody led this class because that was a mindset I was still in. So, I mean, I was terrified to speak up in closing circles. So I didn't say a thing, and I was just um, pretty influenced by that experience. But of course, I loved it. Like a lot of people come to ecstatic dance and they're like, oh my God, this is my home, this is my tribe, my family. But because it's such a different experience, even a good experience, if they're lucky, they'll feel really at home, but they have to, sometimes it'll take a couple years to process that experience and like, what was that? But something, so I had that experience of like, okay, I'm never going back there, but at first it was like, oh yeah, this is my home, but then later it was like, oh no, you can't do that, It was like, wait a minute. And then I'm glad that my friend didn't show up actually because I would have been, because I was at that time, I was doing partner dance, ballroom dance, all the dance forms, so I would have been like trying to get him to partner dance with me or probably trying to talk to him like what in the world is going on, and when it's a nonverbal space. So I think that's what he did for me, because he's still one of my good friends after all of these years. I think that was in the year 2000. So yeah, so that just grabbed my soul and started calling me back. So I drove to Austin, 3 hours there and 3 hours back once a month for a long time, maybe a couple years. And then I moved to Houston. And because I was already a dance teacher, and I already had my tap dance company and I was dancing with Contemporary Dance Fort Worth, Contemporary Dance Company all over the DFW Metroplex area, I was I wanted to facilitate that dance, and bring it to Houston. So I started taking Carola Marashi. She had a facilitator training, and it was pretty strict. It was like you had to be a part of the community for at least 2 years before you could apply for to become a facilitator, and then that was a long process in itself. And that included, at the time, it included the music, and they were using like CDs, alternating CDs back and forth in that type of setting. And that was before iTunes came out. And so then when iTunes came out, it made it a little bit easier to organize your music and stuff. But so yeah, Corolla helped me open the dance in Houston, and Oscar Maderas. He's still a DJ and beautiful facilitator, amazing dance shaman in Austin, Texas. And and yeah, so that got me yeah, I just went in deep, creating Ecstatic Dance Houston, running a dance every week for 25, I mean for 15 years straight. And then over time I got facilitators involved because it's a lot of work if you do it by yourself. And so we trained facilitators and DJs, and then that kind of ended up later becoming two separate jobs. Was the DJ didn't have to be the facilitator, and the facilitator could come in and work with the DJ around a theme if they wanted, but they could facilitate the circle, create the sacred space, help out with the dancer portion where the DJ would just focus on the music, because each one of those aspects can take, really require a lot of finesse to really create a grounded, safe, and sacred space. And so that's what we became experts on: the music, with Ecstatic Dance Evolution, the facilitation, and the creation of safe and sacred space so that dancers could go deep and really have spiritual experiences, or spiritual, experiences of beyond what is normally, like Eon and Destiny, y'all were talking about the power of, yoga. And during that time, I had a 20-year yoga practice. So I was doing Ashtanga yoga from the time I was in tap dancing. So that carried me through, but it definitely opened up my intuition. And I was always a spiritual seeker, but this was like a new level of spirituality where it's all about the being inside of us. That is, how do you call that forward so that that is the movement? You're not like saying, okay, now I'm going to do this with my arm, but something inside of you is moving around and it does all kinds of things with your body. So that's like being moved, being danced. So creating that safe and sacred container for me is one of the most important elements, and having a musical flow that is natural to people's human bodies. So, over the years, me and my facilitator team developed this thing called the chakra map. So I was, because I was a yogi, I was like studying and learning about the chakras. And then back then, we were using the five rhythms musical flow for ecstatic dance. And I was like, I wonder if we could use the chakra map for the music. How could we hear songs and organize them and categorize them according to the chakras? And so we did that, and that's my chakra map that I teach on the DJ training. So it really does provide more more depth, but most people most of the time can relate to it because we're starting out in the earth chakra, and then we go up to our root chakra, and then we go to our second chakra, and so all of it correlates with the elements perfectly and beautifully, and with our body chakra and endocrine system and all of that. And so when we made that shift, dancers just had much deeper experiences, and the deeper they go, the higher they go, and it's very magical. And so that's why I really want to share, my DJ system uh, with the world, because it provides such a great musical journey and really helps people go deep and high and wide, and have experiences that our bodies know how to have. So on that note, I just want to say one more thing. One of my favorite things about ecstatic dance is this thing about how we don't need substances to get high. We have natural highs in our body. We have all these chemicals already there. It's just that we haven't had a lot of places who know how to bring those out in us. I mean, yes, yoga. You can definitely, your intuition can open in yoga, and for most people who practice regularly, it does. And then things before they happen, so that's that intuition. But as far as, I mean, yeah, I don't really want to take up too much more time here, but a lot of mystical experiences. I would love to make a video about our experiences in the dance, because they've been everything from just, grieving the death of my best friend, to my mom's death, to very sort of dramatic and traumatic situations in my life have I take that to the dance and process it there. And then it leads to a breakthrough, an awakening. Maybe that person comes to me in the form of another dancer. And then at the end, I learn that they have the same name as the person I was grieving, and they were there and they wrapped their arms around me. And it was just magical, really magical experiences, and the depths of our emotions that can be brought out that we don't really get to express on a regular basis, even joy. And part of the chakra map is I go through the fifth chakra. After we open the heart, we go through the throat, where this is our inner child. It's our play, it's our playfulness, it's our fun, it's our goofy kid. And after we did all the hard work of the lower chakras, then we open our heart, and then adults can become their inner child and just come out and play and be goofy. So I play those kind of songs to, instigate that's the right place to play that, and then we go into the third eye, which opens the space for everything from cosmic connection to celebration, and unification, and so on. But I'll talk more about the chakra map later. But anyway, so that's what I'm feeling called to talk about dance today. And I welcome all of you in the tribe who have been classical studio dancers, in your life, and are ready to step into something a lot deeper and more authentic, and learn. For me, it's all about learning who I am, you know, because I'm not who I thought I was. I don't always have to get it right. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to know the steps. It's like, oh, and what's after that? What's deeper than that? So that's what I want to say today. So
Can I just
anyway,
can I just add something really quick?
yes, yes.
Another thing that I love about ecstatic dance is like there's people from all kinds of different spaces and places and different age ranges as well,
Hmm.
which is absolutely amazing, and just like everyone can just get together and have a lot of fun. So like maybe almost like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago, I went up to New York to visit my family. It was my niece's birthday, and during that trip, I'm in the airport, and I got an email from this ecstatic dance community that I had been to before when I was living in New York, and they were having one the next day. So by the time I get there, I tell mom, and My mom has never done anything like this before.
Okay.
And so I'm like, Mom, would you like to come do this thing with me? She's like, where is it? It's on the beach. Oh my gosh. So she has to get through the whole thing of, it's on the beach, the sand, right? And so, at the end of it, she was just like, okay, let's try it. Let's go. I'm interested. Okay, fine. So it was me, my mom, and my wife. We had gone together. And wow, she really enjoyed it. She really enjoyed it. It took a while to like see, okay, like what is this? It was on the beach, so it was like we had the silent headphones,
Mhm.
so we can hear everything and move around as much as we wanted to. But they had the three DJs set up, and so you can flip through different channels as you wanted to, depending upon the music. And they also had a drummer, like live drummers, and a live person playing the flute. That you can all hear in your headsets, and then there were these experiences like, okay, well, let's all come together. So like they're saying on the headset, like, okay, let's all come together and like do this thing, and then go and explore and have fun again. But she had a really great time. Like after getting through all the stuff, right? She's like, oh my gosh, like this was really interesting. Like I've never done anything like this before. And she's like, maybe this is something I would have wanted to try before, but it's like I don't want people to think that I'm crazy, and that's a
Exactly.
thing, right? As
Yeah,
far like
yeah. Too old to
sometimes it's
attack.
like, yeah, sometimes it's like the
Yeah,
people who are closest to you, you feel like they're gonna think you're crazy, or sometimes they will. They be like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, why would you want to do that? That's just weird. And it's funny because now she's like, oh, she's texting me after, like, oh, are they gonna have it again? Like, you should come back and we can do it again. We can go back. So it's really great, and
Hmm.
it's a thing that I think like all of us here so far came to ecstatic dance either by mistake or
Mhm, right. Yeah.
randomly someone brought us into it, and then you experience it and it's such a great time. But before
Mhm.
that, it's just like you hear about it and you may not think that this is something for me. You just think that the crazy people go there. So
Yeah.
it takes
so true.
it takes a
Yeah,
lot of willingness to
Mm,
try something new, to go into the space and try something new. But then it works the best when you had no idea, right? And you were just thrown into it. And it's like, well, how
exactly.
do we get more people to just feel comfortable to just throw themselves into something?
yeah.
Yeah.
On that, yeah, I want to say something on that. When it comes to dance and age, right? Like you mentioned earlier, like it's all across different ages, where this construct that we live in, right? It's like, okay, your age group is that bar, that kind of dance. And then your age group is that bar, that kind of dance. And then your culture is that bar and that kind of dance.
Mhm.
And it's a division, right? And
Mhm.
so with the ecstatic dance, it's like now it doesn't matter what culture, what you do. It's open to young and old, and it's beautiful because I think that that's the way it's originally made to be. We're supposed to be able to coexist and co-create
Mhm.
together at all ages because we're all creative, whether we're 5 or 50. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
I think it's that's one of the beautiful things that I think I find also about ecstatic dance is the age. It's just
Yeah.
everybody,
Hmm.
everybody's
Yeah,
invited.
9 to 99, man. I mean, or 9 months to 99 years.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, we learn.
we can do that because it's substance free. And everyone is respecting themselves and each other. So there's no hanky panky there. You're not going to find people making out. There's no alcohol. I mean, maybe some people take some substances before they go, but you don't know. I mean, they shouldn't tell you. They should not do that because that's what we're trying to do, activate, these the chemicals in our own body. So therefore, it welcomes all ages. And sometimes there are dances out there that will be adult only, but they should definitely say adult only. They should really, or they should, if they're topless, they should say we're topless, topless friendly or whatever. So hopefully the dances are describing what they're offering. But the original, form when it came out of the 1980s, um, there was um, no toplessness, no alcohol or substances, So, but way back in, thousands of years ago in Dionysus ages, they probably were having some wine and maybe some plant medicine. Excuse me, maybe some plant medicine back then. But ecstatic dance, has a wide variety of meanings, but the way that I look at it is like a spiritual focus, like finding the best of ourself and, processing, using it as a space to, process the deepest emotions we have and then reach, natural highs that are spiritual mystical experiences so that because we are mystics, I think we are, angelic humans, right? Like we learn in Eternal Life Tribe, we're angelic humans here to bring heaven in through our body onto earth and make that connection. So that's kind of been my focus. So anybody want to say anything else?
I just love that, look at all being us on this group too. Again, age doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
And amazing things happen when different age groups also get to come together and different cultural people also get to come together because, we can learn different things. We're kind of taught as growing up, oh, you sit at the kids' table or the adults' table, right? And then
Right.
you come into spaces like this and ecstatic dance, and it's just like, okay, we're all part of the one community. So that's fantastic. I think this is if everyone on the call is probably comfortable with it. I think it will be good if you posted this either on YouTube,
Mm.
so that people can learn
Yeah.
more about,
Yeah, this is
ecstatic dance as a whole, and also from the different people that are here, because
That's a
they need to
great idea.
know to,
Yes, I will
yeah.
post it on my Ecstatic Dance Evolution page, a YouTube channel.
cool.
Ecstatic Dance Evolution is my YouTube channel, and I haven't posted there in quite a few years, but I'm
That's a good
definitely,
idea.
obviously ready to post again. Okay, well, I hope everyone got a lot of good stuff out of this video. I
Oh,
know I did. I love just hearing everyone's unique stories and the similarities, that are here and that exist as well. So
this video came out of it. You definitely need to post this because this is gold to get
definitely.
people in. Yeah, I like everybody Eon and Destiny shared.